Brace yourself. It's that time again. Welcome to Unfiltered. Another week's gone by, and I've got to tell you, for those of you who don't know, I am delivering pizzas for a regular job now, and some of the people that I've run into, I delivered to a lady the other day, and I'll say she was a lady of maturity, which is probably the politically correct thing to say. And for those of you who don't understand, she was an old lady. All right. I'd say she mid-70s at least. She recognized who I was, said she loved the show, watches it all the time, and it made me feel good to know that somebody like that watches every week, you know?
Well, that someone likes you that watches.
Well, you know, not everybody that watches has to like me. I don't care. But a number of people have stopped and said they watch the show, they enjoy the show. One of my young fans, Will, I ended up signing an autograph for him. First autograph I ever signed. So, I mean, it was kind of stupid, but he wanted it. And I was on my way to work the other morning, and I noticed he's working with the Parks and Recreation Department down on Main Street in the mornings. Saw him, I don't know, picking up trash or keeping the little flower beds weed-free or whatever they do down there, but
keeping it looking pretty.
I thought that was kind of cool. The other thing I want to start off with this week is, again, Cheshire TV is going to run out of money at the end of December. It takes about $4,000 a month to keep this place running with the bills and everything. So either donate or call the main office in Portland of Time Warner. Now, Time Warner has done nothing wrong, so don't call and yell at Time Warner. Simply tell them that you enjoy watching Cheshire TV and you would like Time Warner to accelerate the contract so that we can get the full 5% that we should be getting. All right. So do what you can do. A little bit of news this week, and I could not believe this story. It came out of one of the papers this week. Council open to water power. Now, didn't I just do a story a couple weeks ago from 77 where the city council had said no need to look into water power in Keene? Well, it's going to be a study done by a hydroelectric power company. And what did it say? They're going to look at natural sites like the Ashwillet River and man-made sites like the water treatment plant. And they think that that's a very good possibility, the water treatment plant, and getting power generated there. The company would then look at the water treatment plant, several dams on the Ashwillet River, pressure-reducing valves in the city's water distribution system, and other sites to see if there's enough volume and pressure to generate power. And if, as expected, the water treatment plant proves capable, the company will develop a plan for pursuing power at the facility. And if the city council decides to move forward and develop the hydroelectric power, city officials could either use the power to power municipal buildings, or they could sell the power for added income. And it says, last year, city officials formed the Wind Energy Working Group, which I haven't heard of, so apparently they're not working too hard And they're exploring whether wind power is viable in Keene. And they're also working with Keene State College professors to explore biodiesel fuel research and development. But city trucks are already using biodiesel, from what I understand. All right, let's move on. Big news this week was 40-year-old Chris Benoit, the wrestler. They found him and his family slain in their home, and turns out it looks like it was a murder-suicide. The latest story that I had pulled, which was yesterday's paper, I believe, said that Benoit strangled his wife, suffocated his 7-year-old son, and placed a Bible next to each of their bodies, and then hung himself with using a pulley off one of his own workout machines. It said on Saturday, Benoit called a coworker to say that he missed a flight out to this big pay-per-view thing that he was supposed to be in. And the coworker said that Benoit sounded tired and groggy and said, "I love you," which kind of was a red flag, and said it was kind of out of context.
Yeah, Vince McMahon was on one of them shows this morning and said he got a weird text from him, something about the dogs doing
Yeah, that's early Sunday. 2 co-workers received a series of text messages from the cell phones of Benoit and his wife. And one message said, "The dogs are in the enclosed pool area, garage side door is open." And investigators found anabolic steroids. Yeah, and now the whole thing is they're going to try and go, oh, it was the steroids, it made him flip out.
Well, actually, they were saying that the steroids, because his son has a physical handicap or something like that, and that they weren't exactly muscle-building steroids, they were steroids for his son. So until they get a better investigation
I had heard that he had steroids for himself, and he was injecting the kid with the steroids.
Ah, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah. I don't know, but to blame it on, I mean, this guy was a former world heavyweight champion, wrestler,
years old.
Intercontinental champion, several tag team titles. Mm-hmm. WWE canceled the regular live Monday Night Raw and did a 3-hour tribute.
Well, he started way back when, 18 years old, Stampede Wrestling out of Calgary, Alberta. He was with the Hart Foundation, Stu Hart's place there that they learned how to wrestle.
Yep. But, yeah, I don't know.
It's a shame. I don't know what's going on with the world.
It can't be, they're going to try and pin it all on the steroid use. But the fact is, here was a guy that was involved in a violent, aggressive form of entertainment for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. The character he played was violent.
The Canadian Crippler was his name.
Just
nickname.
I mean, it's stupid. It's like, and they're going to say it's all steroids. Maybe it wasn't all steroids. Maybe he just lost it from so much violence and aggression in his everyday life. I don't know. Get on to better stuff. This was kind of funny. It's from Proctor, Vermont. It says voting begins for the best restroom. Yeah, there's actually a competition for the best restroom. Best restroom I ever seen had graffiti all over the walls, and I had something to do when I was in there. Well, apparently it's the Vermont Marble Museum up there in Proctor, Vermont is one of 5 finalists, and it's a 6th annual contest. It's a contest sponsored by Cintas, a Cincinnati-based company that supplies and maintains corporate restrooms. Marble restrooms aren't all that common, but Cintas says it was impressed with the bright flowers and lace curtains used to soften and smooth the lines. There's Fandangles, an upscale restaurant in Flushing, Michigan, where the restrooms are art galleries with curtains billowing over the stalls. Fairfield, Ohio is offering up Jungle Jim's International Market, where an entrance that looks like a portable toilet opens onto a jungle-themed modern restroom. The Mix Lounge at the Mandalay Bay Casino in Las Vegas offers restrooms with sleek black walls, breathtaking stall views, and contemporary sinks. Breathtaking stall views. It's usually not the views in a restroom that take your breath away. I don't know. But apparently the contest is open through July 31st. So I'll keep my eye open and see who won. Then we'll all visit. All right. Something local. Keene police ticketed an 88-year-old man Tuesday after he drove up onto a sidewalk on South Lincoln Street and took out 2 telephone poles. They issued a reckless driving ticket to the man, and he said he didn't know why he drove up onto the sidewalk. Apparently this is one of the reasons why old people shouldn't drive. If you drive someplace and you don't know why you drove there, it's time to actually, it shouldn't be a fact of taking away their license. At that point, they should just turn it in. I don't know. A couple out of the strange news briefs from this week. This one was from Seattle. Apparently this lady, Jane Below.
Any relation?
No, it's a Balogh. She's in big trouble because apparently her dog's been voting for the past 3 years. Her dog.
What kind of dog?
An Australian Shepherd Terrier.
I gotta give you one of them. They're pretty smart dog.
I don't know, but she said she was protesting the 2005 state law that makes it too easy for non-citizens to vote. She put her phone in the dog's name and then used the phone bill as identification, and the dog votes. She's a grandmother and an Army veteran, which is, it says one tip-off for authorities. One of the envelopes was signed with a picture of a paw print.
Got a clue?
How easy do you got to make it before they catch on? They've offered her a deal. Plead guilty to a misdemeanor charge of making a false statement, and they won't file a felony charge of providing false information on a voter registration application. She says she doesn't plan to contest the charge because she knows I'm guilty. But it looks like she'll get 10 hours of community service and pay a $250 fine. So, all right. That's the news. We've got crew call now. So we'll introduce the crew. Unfortunately, Jane is sick, so she's not here. But we have Greg on camera 1, as usual, hanging with us. With Al. With Al over his shoulder. And we have Mike on camera 3, setting up for his booth shot. And Mike's also acting as floor director tonight. And in the booth, we have Bruce and Andrea. Hi, Bruce.
How's it going tonight, Rick?
It's going well. How are you?
We're doing all right now. We had a little bit of a fright there about a half an hour before the show started when the lights went out everywhere. We were
and see,
out.
I should have learned from Superstar where the fuse box was, and I didn't.
Yeah, well, it was a learning experience for all of us. It took us about 5 minutes to figure out where the fuse box was. There's about 18 rooms downstairs in the basement, and
yeah, and now
it is kind of a spooky little place down there.
We got lucky too because this happened at like 20 till.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at 2 minutes of.
Right.
So it could have been worse. And how's Andrea?
Well, I'm doing just fine.
You've got
I'm doing great.
You've got a huge NASCAR report for us, don't you?
I have got an awesome NASCAR report this week.
All right.
And I'm going to try to remember to look at Mike, and he'll make faces at me if I don't. I'm going to try to do it kind of quick because I don't want to hold you up from all your good stories.
Oh, I got a bunch of stuff tonight too.
But anyways, last week we had the race at Infineon, which was a road course race, and we had another first-time winner, and that was Juan Pablo Montoya. I think I got all that right. Anyways, he is a rookie also, and he won his first cup race. And the really interesting thing about second, third, and fourth was they were all Childress cars, being Harvick, Burton, and Clint Boyer. So it looks like the old Childress cars and the others are trying to give Hendrick a run for their money with the cars of tomorrow. None of that, Mike. Now, our standings did a bit of a change, and I won't tell you what the standings are until I tell you why they did a bit of a change. But it appears that Mr. Gordon and Mr. Johnson, that would be Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, both got nailed last week, and they were parked and were not allowed to practice, and they couldn't even qualify their cars. They had to start in the rear, and they came out okay, but that still they were caught flagrantly cheating. They thought they could operate within a gray area, but unfortunately with the Cars of Tomorrow there are no gray areas, and each one was fined 100 points. And some of y'all ought to come in here and try to do this in front of Mike. Anyways, but they were fined 100 points. Each of their crew chiefs were suspended for 6 races, put on probation through the end of the year, fined $100,000. The car owners were each fined 100 points. That caused the standings to go all the way around on the top 5. That dropped Jimmy Johnson down to 5th. Now, Jeff Gordon didn't suffer a big hit. He's just got Denny Hamlin at 171 behind him, so that in itself isn't bad. Then we've got, and Kenseth and Burton are 3rd and 4th. So that really was a little bit of a shake-up, but not much. But now I'll tell you why, and I'm going to read it word for word, which is something I don't normally do, but I'm going to read it word for word why there are no gray areas. So kind of bear with me. I'm not going to give you the rule number or anything else, but for all you people who are Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon fans and who are saying, no, NASCAR is being bad, this is the way it rolls. It says car parts, components, and or equipment used do not conform to NASCAR rules. It also goes on to state parts or components of the car not previously approved by NASCAR that have been installed or modified to enhance aerodynamic performance will not be permitted. Fenders may not be cut or altered except for wheel or tire clearance, which must be approved by the series director of the 2007 NASCAR book. Now, I know I'm 57 years old, but I swear to God I have not lost my hearing. And I will tell you this, I did hear them say they were hoping to work within the gray area of the templates in order to cause some better aerodynamic performance. Well, guess what, gang? It didn't work. Now, here is the last little bit of news, and it's kind of interesting, and that is that Tony Uri Sr., Jr.'s uncle, has resigned from DEI effective today. And, or I should say, effective immediately. He has joined JR Motorsports, which is owned by Junior, and he is going to be the director of competition at JR Motorsports. So, one of the things that Junior alluded to had to do with family, and my sentiments were apparently Junior and Tony Uri Sr. figure, blood's thicker than water.
That's right.
So now we head on to Loudon this weekend, and it should be a great race. So have fun, and that's it. And it is also, as Bruce just reminded me, another Car of Tomorrow race.
Thank you, Andrea.
Sure thing.
Another great NASCAR segment. And yes, this week is Loudon. It's gonna be crazy over there. God. All right, I'm gonna slide into the 70s, back when I was young and good looking. All right, maybe I wasn't so good looking. I was young and all. All right. This week in 1977, the headline was Electric Car Wins Climb Contest. From Mount Washington, New Hampshire, Robert King's electric Volkswagen with a converted body and jet engine starter beat out a diesel taxi and a Mercedes running on soybean oil to capture this year's top prize in the alternative vehicle regatta. This was a thing, it was being held for the 3rd year. And it was initiated to give people a chance to test out experimental vehicles. The object was to make it to the top with the least amount of fuel energy. The guy that won drove a car powered with 12 batteries up the 8-mile road. Other entries were a diesel taxi from London powered by methanol and diesel oil and built by MIT. Another one was a 1962 diesel engine Mercedes on soybean salad oil. And the cheapest ride up the mountain was on James MacArthur Jr.'s electric motorcycle. It cost 20 cents worth of power to get him up the mountain. Says another contestant was a 76 station wagon operated only on methanol. And one contestant who didn't make it all the way up was a man from Essex, Connecticut, from the Rhode Island School of Design, whose charcoal-powered station wagon dropped out. I'm trying to figure out how he powered a car with charcoal.
Maybe he ran out of steaks.
No more lighter fluid.
Maybe it was all right, but it took a long time to warm up. This was kind of funny. From Muddy, Illinois. The Harrisburg High School class of 1926 didn't realize what a racket it was making at its 51st anniversary reunion until the assistant manager of the motel arrived to tell them that they were disturbing a rock band in an adjoining room. Imagine that.
That's got to be loud.
Bunch of old people partying harder than the rock stars.
Sure they weren't old rock stars?
They might have been old rocks. Some of them were probably old rock stars. This one was from Fort Lauderdale, Florida in 1977. Laundromat has tried to take the drudgery out of doing the wash by adding a new treat, topless dancers, in a laundromat. Before they added the topless dancer, they'd been selling beer at the laundromat. And they advertised, have some suds while doing your duds.
Catchy.
It is catchy, yeah. And it says they added topless go-go shows about a month ago. And as far as the girls go, it's just a beginning, said Jim Fuller, who runs the laundry with his father. There's no way to estimate the possibilities.
Nope.
Man, that was 77. Nothing
Suds
was
in the bucket.
Nothing was bad back then, except this. From Canandaigua, New York, as many as 40 people may be called to testify in a suit brought by the parents of a 375-pound man whose body burst through the bottom of the casket during his funeral.
I remember that. I remember that. Yes, I do.
Yeah, it dropped right through the bottom of the casket. And the O'Briens, Mrs. O'Brien claims she suffered a complete mental breakdown after the incident and had to undergo psychiatric treatment.
You think?
The defendants, two casket makers, a funeral home, and the company which sold the couple of the casket have been charged with negligence and breach of contract. Because apparently you should build a casket to hold a 375-pound guy.
Yeah.
If they knew that the casket wasn't going to hold, why didn't they just
Reinforce it.
or shave a little off? Take a little off the back.
How did they get him in there? With a shoehorn?
As a funeral director, take a little off the back. Nobody's going to notice. I don't know. Oh, my sick mind, huh? This is an old one. Some of you may remember the old wooden nickel section in the Sentinel by Dayton Duncan. He did an article back in '77. You know it's summer when? And I picked just a couple of them. You know it's summer when you barbecue hot dogs and hamburgers 3 nights a week, chicken 2 nights a week, steak on the 6th, and on the 7th, you go to a friend's barbecue. You know it's summer when you turn on the radio at night to help you get to sleep, but end up staying awake much too late because the Red Sox go into extra innings. And I guess they did that last night, too.
Yeah, they played out in the West Coast.
Yeah, late games. Gotta love them. You know it's summer when your windows are always open and you relearn what a busy street you live on.
I don't live on a busy street.
No, you don't. You know it's summer when television is all reruns or second-rate summer replacements, but it doesn't matter since you don't come inside until it's time to go to bed anyway. And last but not least, you know it's summer when standing in the front yard with sweat pouring down your face, you wonder how you could have ever thought that mowing the lawn was easier than shoveling the driveway. All right. People in the news, 1977. This week, rock singer Alice Cooper was in a fix.
In a fix or had a fix?
He probably had a fix too. But he was in a fix because he was supposed to do a show in Canada, and they would not allow his co-star, Angel, into Canada. Remember Angel, the snake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white and yellow.
It was a 9-foot boa constrictor,
Boa constrictor, yeah.
and he was forbidden to take it across the border in Canada. So his Shep Gordon, whoever Shep Gordon is, probably his manager or publicist or something, said Cooper will carry on with local talent, whatever the snake dealers in Canada can provide. So, hired. Probably like union rates too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right.
Time and a half after what, 3? Yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know, those, especially a rock star snake, probably makes big bucks. So, all right. Mike Blasto says,
Take him up.
and this was from a few weeks ago, but I pulled it because Mike Blastos didn't really say anything interesting this week in 1977. Sometimes he had slow weeks. But this is from a few weeks back. He says, I've been asked to write a column concerning a very critical situation that exists now in Keene. This has to do with the police department asking for the cooperation of the citizenry in reporting crimes or suspicion of crime activity. When citizens do aid the police in solving, say for example, a house break, their name appears in the newspaper and is aired on the radio. So guess whose home gets knocked over a few nights later? I know the police will say that this is all public record and the press has access to such matters, but all informants must be guaranteed complete anonymity, or the police will soon find all help from the citizenry vanishing. Funny thing, it could be done and it would be easy and it would help stop Keene's rising crime rate. Yeah, well said, Mr. Mayor. And I think that holds true today. If more people, took notice of the things that are going around in your neighborhood. Take a notice. If you see something suspicious, call it in or write it in. Where am I at?
Help some of your people sometimes.
Yeah, help people.
And I was driving down Stoddard today. Guy was cutting the grass by the library there.
Yeah.
On a little mower, and he came up over the knoll, and I saw him coming down the street. He had it stuck. He couldn't move it. He was pushing it and pushing it. I pulled over to the library, walked up and pushed it out, helped him push it out.
Did you?
Yeah.
Or did you just
No.
blow the horn and wave?
Hey, dude, you remember when we were in? We stopped all the time in the tractor trailer to help people. Come on.
All right. CD review. This week, Sass Jordan, Racine. Now, this is a CD from 1992. I don't know if anybody will be able to find it anywhere. I'd probably check the internet and stuff. But when I first heard this, my thoughts were like primo Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
The old, she's got a raspy,
Voice.
gravelly, bluesy voice, and she rocks.
She sure does.
I can't think of a song that I don't like on here.
I get that back tonight, right?
It's all right. You can have it back tonight. It's just got. They're all
Yeah,
rocking.
and she wrote most of them.
Oh, she did write
Yeah,
most
she
of them.
wrote most of them.
Okay. I noticed it was recorded all out in Hollywood.
Yeah, she has a few more albums out.
Is she a Canadian?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think she's
Okay.
from California.
Okay. But yeah, it's bluesy, rock, fantastic.
It's good.
Fantastic.
It's really
music.
good.
nothing, you know, extraordinary.
Just
You
a
know,
good
nothing
beat.
that, you know, really sticks out as one thing that is impressive about the album. It's just a very well-made album. Other than maybe her voice is just phenomenal. She's
Yeah, she is.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And she's not bad to look at either. So, but yeah, definitely, if you can find it, get it. Or send me an email, headforlaughs@hotmail.com, and we'll hook you up. Out and about this week. This one? Okay, thanks.
Follow
Oh,
the
you give me
hand.
the same motion when you want me to look at
I
Ben's
know when
camera,
Jane
too.
does it, you watch her hand because she's got the ex-wife thing going, right?
All right, just put up the number of fingers or whatever. This week's out and about. I'm going to start with the birthdays because a buddy, thanks, Mike. A buddy of mine at work. His birthday's today. He's 30 years old. Benji Kingsbury's. Happy birthday, Benji. I'm not sure if you're watching or if you got out of work at 6, so you're probably pretty hammered by now. But if you're watching, happy birthday, buddy. Other birthdays today. Today's birthdays that you share, Benji. Mel Brooks is 81 this year.
81.
Kathy Bates is 59. And John Cusack is 41. Now, other birthdays from earlier in this week, June Lockhart is 82. June Lockhart, she was a mother on Lost in Space.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and, she was somebody else, too.
Well, didn't she
Timmy,
start-
she was
Miss
Timmy's
Lassie.
mom. Lassie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she started off at Lassie.
Yeah. Yeah, 82 years old.
Where they used to deliver the ice to the refrigerator.
Carly Simon
Oh,
is 62 years old this week. Jimmy Walker is 60 this week.
Jimmy Walker.
JJ from Good Times.
JJ Jimmy
Yep.
Walker, yep.
Musician Mick Jones from The Clash, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
is 52. And Patti Smythe is 50 this week.
Do you know who Patti Smythe's married to?
No, I don't. But I know
John-
she's got another album that
She's
I'll
married to
eventually get.
John McEnroe. They
Oh,
live
okay.
in New York City, and they own an art gallery.
Oh, all right.
I have her last solo album. at the
I
house.
know. I'm gonna
Yeah,
review
borrow
that
that
one of
one.
these
Okay.
weeks. Let's see. Entertainment this week. Gino's band canceled this week for some reason. So for the summer, he's got nothing for Saturday nights. No entertainment, unless I can see about putting something together for him. But we're gonna work on stuff.
Oh yeah. I got some friends.
At the Hot Spot over in Rockingham, the Space Monkeys. Sounds interesting. Maybe they're good. And at the Colonel's Cabin on Route 5, this is the first time I've mentioned them because I happened to be over in Brattleboro and I saw a sign. I believe tomorrow night, the 29th, is a band called Lowdown at the Colonel's Cabin. They're just north of Brattleboro on Route 5. And that's the out and about. So I'll get into my stuff now. This is where it's going to get fun.
My stuff.
The thing I saw today, I was very happy about. The American bald eagle has been taken off the endangered species list.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah,
That's
finally.
really good.
Years and years. They were being killed off by, what was it, DDT was doing a
DDT,
lot of
yeah.
stuff to them, and then poaching
shells.
and hunters and stuff were screwing it up. All right. I talked last week about the smoking ban. I've got to get back into that because after watching the show, I realized that I went off on John Lynch a little bit and into the environmental stuff and never got to the point that I was actually going to make about the smoking ban.
What else?
Which
you know,
was,
Rick?
there are exceptions to the smoking ban. And the exceptions will be nursing homes, which, how stupid is this? These are the last people that we need smoking. We're paying enough for their health care as it is. But apparently they figure, if you're old and you're going to die, you might as well smoke anyway.
Yeah, but they'll die quicker.
Maybe they'll die quicker. Probably not. You never die in a nursing home until your money's gone. That's the
just the
hard
way it is.
facts, Soon as your money runs out, it's like the warranty on your car. The day after your warranty's gone, everything breaks. So yeah, the day after your money runs out in a nursing home, oh, we found him dead.
Tied to his chair.
Other,
That was bad, Rick. All right, that was bad. Okay.
sorry. No, I'm not. Other exceptions. Private, fraternal, religious, or social clubs. Maybe like religious clubs like Rastafaris? Make smoking legal?
Does that mean
You'll be able to-
everybody's going to get religion?
Yeah, but they can smoke, you know?
Private social
I-
club.
And private social clubs. Of course, the Eagles, the Moose, clubs like that. Or if you've been to Salt Lake City like Mike and I have
Yes,
been,
we have.
you realize that every single bar in Salt Lake is a private club. Dude, I can't remember what law it is. Something about, was it selling beer without selling food or something?
Right, selling beer without selling food.
Yeah, and the only way you could do that is if you were a private club. So every bar is a private club.
In South Carolina, private clubs can stay open until 6 in the morning.
See? Another, yeah, private clubs do basically whatever they want.
It's really not that
So,
hard. You just get the drunk
I
guy
see-
at the end of the bar to
And
sponsor you.
that's it.
That's what we did.
Yeah. And the bartender says, oh, you need to sign in. They say, well, all right. And, you know, you have to be sponsored into the
Right.
club.
To the club. And some
But I
drunk
mean,
guy
what's to
sponsored
stop,
us.
you know, what's to stop Geno's or you know, Panucci's or any place like that from going, okay, $1 for a lifetime membership.
Yep. And that's what we paid.
And all it does is it makes bar owners responsible for more paperwork. Because then they have to keep a record of everybody that belongs to the club.
Right, right.
So it's just a file card box, and you'll be able to pick out the alcoholics real easy. You just go from bar to bar and find whose name shows up the most. Give them a prize. All right, we've got a construction update.
Dun, 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 dun.
Construction in Keene, still going on, and guess what? Traffic still sucks. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all you can say. I sat on West Street for 25 minutes yesterday between the top of the hill by Triumph Auto Glass to get past Hannaford's. 25 minutes!
They don't go that way.
There wasn't people working in the road. There were 2 state cops parked in Triumph Auto Glass talking. Apparently that's what they're getting the big bucks for. Sit in their car, burn their gas, run their air conditioner, and talk about how crappy the traffic looks. And I'm sure the conversation was like, geez, I'm glad I'm not out there sitting in that line.
Isn't it your turn
Yeah,
now? No.
because they were all in the shade. But it's stupid. Grove Street's a mess, although the article in the Sentinel today said the council is looking at reopening Grove Street for 2-way traffic.
That makes sense.
Now, see, my idea is why not keep Grove Street one way, open up Willow Street going the other way, and then it's just a little short stretch of Grove Street that has to be 2-way.
That's-
You know, from Willow Street back to Water Street, let them keep it one way.
Get back over to Marlboro Street.
Yeah.
I mean, people live in that area. That's,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I remember growing up as a kid there, you could go from Willow Street into the parking lot and right out to Main Street. We had an OK Fairbanks supermarket right there where that bank sits.
yeah.
So, all right. This one I saw on, I was like watching some crap TV today because I had nothing better to do. And I can't remember, this was on one of the Fox News or something. And for anybody that complains about taxes in New Hampshire or the United States, listen to this. Go up north to Canada. Toronto's considering a tax for standing on the street. Standing on the sidewalk. I don't know how they're gonna enforce it, but it's primarily aimed at club goers. You know, the people at
The
night that
lines,
wait
yeah.
in lines, yeah.
Yeah.
So they've gonna tax people. Can you believe that?
Tax to wait to go into a club.
I mean, you got to do stuff if you're gonna give free health care, things like that. You've got to do some stupid things. You know, you can't. your entire country can't be like the greatest.
Why not?
Well,
We think we are.
because every government has to suck in some form or another. It's just the way governments are. You know, we've got like old people in our government, people that don't know crap in our government, and people that are so behind the times that we'll never catch up. And Canada's got some stupid laws. So what can you say? And speaking of friggin' old government, I hit C-SPAN TV today. And you know, when Lee told me that people will watch anything, that's what happened to me today. I was surfing, I hit C-SPAN, and I stopped for some reason. Because there was an old guy standing at the podium, shaking, worse than Michael J. Fox without his medication. The man was Senator Robert Byrd, Democrat from West Virginia. He's got like severe tremors. Apparently he can't see very well because it looked like he had maybe half a dozen words on each full sheet of paper. And he'd read a few words and then he'd shuffle the paper off to the side. I mean, the man looks like he's awful.
Brings a lot of money to them.
It's the money, yeah. And I mean, I grabbed a couple of quotes from him because I mean, this guy was just, he's like, I'm old and I'm gonna stay that way and I'm just gonna keep going. But he says the Senate is not full of spring chickens. And a quarter of the Senate dates from the 1930s. Yeah. So we're talking, you got 75, 80-year-old people in the Senate. I mean, these are people that still think that Al Capone runs Chicago. You know, let's get some young people in the Senate. Let's get some people with new ideas. You know? Christ, I don't care if we have more taxes. Let's just, I mean, if we're spending too much on the Senate's medical bills, apparently, or something, I don't know.
Apparently they didn't watch that Geraldo Rivera show, huh? When they found out the vault was empty.
God, he says, I will continue to do this work until my body gives out and drops. Oh my God. And then it'll just be another hold up for the Senate, you know? Oh, hold on, we gotta move the dead body out of the senator. One thing I did see that I liked on C-SPAN today was the senator, one of the senators from Alaska got up and he gave a little tribute to Brigadier General Ken Taylor, who was laid to rest today at Arlington National Cemetery. General Taylor was the commander of Alaska's Air National Guard, and he was also a major player at Pearl Harbor. Now this is, if anybody's seen the movie Pearl Harbor, Brigadier General Ken Taylor is one of the two pilots that went to the airfield, still in their party clothes, jumped into their planes, and took off to fight the Japanese. When they landed to refuel and to restock, resupply with ammunition, they got an ass chewing for taking off without orders. And they were told to stay on the ground. Well, when another air raid started and the ground crew scattered, General Taylor and his sidekick took off again and went to fight some more Japs. But yeah, I thought it was very nice on the Senate floor for that senator to get up, and it was a very moving tribute to the man. Apparently, General Taylor's son had joined the Alaska Air National Guard and attained the rank of, I believe, assistant commander of the Air National Guard, and it was the only father and son team. And I believe that the grandson is also serving in the Alaska Air National Guard. So 3 generations. And that's a real American hero right there. That can't be all the stuff I had, is it? That is all the stuff I had. All right. I'll just make up some more stuff.
You're making a mess out here, Rick.
I am. That's all
Don't
right.
lean on a dust too hard.
That's all right. We'll clear it. We'll clean it up. I was handed this, and these are some funny things. This is, you might be trailer trash if. It's kind of like the whole Jeff Foxworthy redneck thing, and I guess redneck, trailer trash, kind of the same thing. But you might be trailer trash if you think the last words for the Star Spangled Banner are, "Gentlemen, start your engines." You might be trailer trash if anyone in your family has ever died right after saying, "Hey, watch this." You might be trailer trash if you wonder how service stations keep their restrooms so clean. You might be trailer trash if you've been married 3 times and still have the same in-laws.
Oh, no.
And you want to know what the top sign that you might be trailer trash? If you let your 12-year-old daughter smoke at the dinner table in front of her kids. I didn't write the stuff. Don't give me that look. Jesus. Mike looked at me like I committed a mortal sin or something, you know? God. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. How was
What do you
the
think
sun
I
the
should
other
talk
day?
about?
How was the sun the other day?
The sun
Laying out in
was
the
great.
sun up there at Center Pond.
I know what I can talk about. Let's talk about the electric car.
Ah,
Because I went and saw
yes.
my sponsor over at Mom's Tattoo, George, sat and talked with him for a while. And he just he's hooked on that movie, Who Killed the Electric Car, that Sony put out. And GM had an electric car. I believe they leased 2,000 of them.
Yes, they did.
And at the end of the leases, they took them all back and crushed them, destroyed them completely.
Yeah, and they did it private. They did it so that people couldn't see they were doing it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they did it in a remote area, and the only reason why they found out is because they went over in a helicopter and took pictures of it.
Right, this EV club. And there were a lot of like celebrities got them and things. I think Mel Gibson
Mel
had
Gibson
one.
had one. Didn't Schwartz? Tom
Peter-
Hanks had one.
Who was that other guy? Peter Horton
Yeah.
was another actor that
Peter
was in the
Horton
movie
had
that
one.
had one.
Yep.
And you know, I drive a Pontiac. I like Pontiacs. And at this time, the Pontiac Sunfire is one of the highest mile per gallon cars. And I would like to stay with Pontiac. But the other day I asked the Pontiac dealer, I said, does Pontiac have anything in the way of at least a hybrid? No. This is the company that knows how to build an electric car. They've built them. And they don't even have
What
a
was
hybrid.
the name? Do you remember the name of the car?
The name of the car was the EV1.
EV1. That's right.
And it was produced, I believe Saturn
Yes.
was actually the branch of GM that
Produced
put
it.
it out.
Oh.
But yeah, and now GM says, oh no, we don't even have a hybrid. So, I don't know.
That's quite the movie, that movie. It really shows just how far the technology had come with the batteries and the electric car. I mean, it would go
Oh yeah,
forever.
there was a thing on the other day. So a lady on Book TV was talking about her book called Plug-in Hybrids, and because now all the focus has shifted towards hydrogen cells, and that's to keep people from thinking about the electrics. And electrics are doable now, but hydrogen. All our focus is on developing the hydrogen cell. And that means a complete new infrastructure for refueling the hydrogen cells. There's no infrastructure for electric cars. You plug them into your house, like your toaster. You know?
Your neighbor's house.
The problem is the auto manufacturers make like 65% of their money on parts and service. They build your car so it will break down. And you have to pay for stuff to get your car fixed. I know I've got a mechanic out here observing today, and he knows how expensive parts are. You know, I'm sure he's seen some repair bills that were in the thousands.
Oh, definitely.
You know, an electric car, what do? You grease the wheel bearings once in a while, rotate the tires. change the windshield washer fluid or whatever.
Clean a terminal with baking soda.
You know, there's no oil changes, there's no mufflers, there's no catalytic converters.
No fossil fuels.
No.
And what's the only thing they puts out is maybe condensation, it said?
Electric cars don't put out nothing.
My ex-wife-
Electric cars are zero emission.
My ex-wife got one of those. Combination. The Honda.
Your ex-wife has, oh, she's got the Honda
She's
now.
got the Honda.
She had a Prius, right?
Yeah. She
The
still does it.
Toyota?
Yeah. No, it was always a Honda. She
Oh, was
always
it?
had the Honda.
I thought she had the Prius, the
No.
Toyota.
No. She had a
Because
Honda.
that's, I mean, I would love to buy American, but
Yep.
Toyota is looking like,
It was
It's
weird
gonna
because
be
she
the
came
one.
and saw us a few weeks ago, and she came down the hill. I didn't even hear that car coming.
no, you don't hear them.
The only time I heard it, she said she started to go up the hill to leave, put her foot on the pedal, and that 3-cylinder motor popped up, brum, and brought her
Yep.
up the hill, and it stopped when she got to the
But
top.
it's still, it's burning gas. And what we want to do is we want to stop burning gas. You know?
Yeah, we got to bring
We
that
want,
EV1 back.
we need the electric cars. And I don't know, I mean, if GM is just sitting on this thing, you know, or they've got buried in some archive somewhere in a basement, and probably at this point, they burned all the plans, all the specs, and they probably shot the guy that invented it.
Now there was a major oil company that bought the technology for the battery cells, didn't they? And they pretty much own the rights to the advanced
Oh,
battery
yeah,
cell.
yeah,
I think
which-
it was Texaco or somebody bought that. But
Yes,
it
I
was
do remember
developed for
seeing that in the movie.
and then Texaco or somebody bought it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's, if you want to be outraged, see that movie. And you'll wonder why. And it's done, the movie's made like a murder mystery.
It's very well put together. When I came to your house and you had it on and we started to watch it, I only planned to be there about 5 minutes. I ended up staying there almost an hour.
Oh,
and
yeah.
taking the movie home with me to watch the rest of it.
Yeah, and they laid it out where they had suspects as to who killed the electric car, and it was everybody from the oil companies to the car manufacturers to the government. It's just, it's so bizarre that they would do that. I mean, it's such a great technology, and it doesn't matter. I mean, these were people that were driving, most of them were driving about 120 miles on a day, and they'd go home and they'd plug it in. Had a big paddle plug that plugged into the front of it, and it looked like, the car looked like a Saturn.
Yeah, it had that little square thing in the front of it that it flapped like a cassette. When
Yeah.
you put a cassette in, the door
Yeah.
flapped open. You just plugged it in.
Exactly. It plugged in. It looked like a
Car.
great car. Everybody that had them loved them, wanted to keep them, and nobody was allowed to keep them.
They had to chase the last guy to get his back.
They did have one guy that was,
The last one. Yeah, they had to chase him for a while
and then
to get it.
that's what they did. They crushed him. All that technology, gone. Because it could be too cheap, you know? But yet India's putting out that car. And I think that China has an electric. One of the car companies in China has an electric. So hey, you know something? If the Chinese are going to take over the world, I'll help them. If they've got an electric car, they'll sell me. You know? And if the Chinese automakers are the only ones that will produce an electric car, then I say every American should buy Chinese.
If you can make it affordable here, I mean,
It only makes sense.
I mean, Chinese will make it affordable for us to buy, but the thing is,
Affordable gas cars aren't affordable.
what I'm talking about is if the United States government doesn't tax the heck out of them so that we can't afford to buy them,
Oh, this is
be a
this
good
is true.
investment.
But I mean, you go out and look for a little subcompact. I mean, even like a Pontiac. What are the new ones? The G5s, I guess, are the ones that right now are the highest in the mile per gallon range, and it's the
they're outrageous.
Pontiac G5, and it's probably $20,000.
Yep.
You know, it's unreal. And you know, you've got your oil changes, and they don't build cars like they used to. I don't think there's any pride. Of course, everything
Well,
built by machines, there is
Yeah, I
no
was going to
pride.
say robots have no pride.
Yeah, but I don't know. Anyway, man, I'm getting down there. I want to talk about Cheshire TV again. I saw a graduation video, at least some of the graduation video that we shot. And it came out good. I was very happy. But yeah, Lee and the crew were all at it. Keen Comic, again, filming Keen Comic out at the Moose Lodge. And that will air, I believe Lee said he's going to air both of the episodes back to back. So you'll be able to watch the entire Keen Comic competition at one time. I'm not sure if graduation, Keene High School graduation's been scheduled yet to air. But DVDs are still available, and if you want a DVD of Keene High School graduation, get in touch with Lee Perkins here at Cheshire TV. Phone number is 283-6621. See, I gave it this week.
Good man.
If you want to email me, you can email me at headforlaughs@hotmail.com, and that's the number 4. You can check out my website at unfilteredlive.com. And to be honest, I haven't done nothing to it since last week. But I've got some pictures, and I'm hoping this weekend to get up the next page. Get the crew page is, I think, the next thing up.
Oh, good deal.
Mike and Greg and Jane. So we'll get their bios and
We're
a
old.
couple of pictures. I got some good pictures
I'm 29.
last week.
You're still old.
29. Yeah, but you've been 29 for 15 years now.
That was.
So, geez, you can't fool us. We were actually talking about, I was visiting Donna at Gino's today, and she was talking about the reunion. We've got our 30th high school reunion coming up in '09. So work will be starting. Donna wanted me to ask if anybody's watching from the class of '79, who's in charge of getting the reunion stuff together, and let's get going.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Oh, she's so funny.
One class.
Yeah, yeah. I remember doing a lot of things in class, but most of it wasn't in class. And what did you say? Oh,
1 minute.
1 minute? All right, we're down to 1 minute.
9 minutes.
It's been a great show, I think.
Rick, it's been a real good show.
I don't think I went off as much as I usually do, but it's warm in here. We had to turn the air conditioner off because
Kept blowing
of that
circuits.
circuit, but that's all right. What haven't I done? I haven't thanked the crew. I want to thank Greg, Mike, Bruce, and Andrea. I want to say hi to Chet and Dee, who stopped in to observe tonight. I want to thank Lee and Nick, who are off doing their thing at the Moose. And Cheshire TV, send your donations. Call the cable company. I don't know. I want to thank my sponsors, Mom's Tattoo and Gemini Screen Print. Till next week, peace.